Joke family after Christmas, and I hope everybody had a fantastic break and New Year, and you're all raring to go for what is going to be the year of the cat, as I was told earlier. Not the actual year of the cat, but the year of the joking jungle cat. So we will be absolutely taking the world by storm this year, and unfortunately, there are people fudding the project again in certain circles, probably the Infiniverse. There's a couple of individuals running around not being very nice about our project. So if you do bump into any of those people, please do set them right and set them straight and tell them, first off, come and listen to one of our AMAs and understand what is happening in the project, rather than just taking second or third hand information that some very jealous and upset people are spreading when they don't know anything about what we're doing. So, the usual people saying, "Oh, the project is dead," and clearly they don't come and listen to an AMA every week, or the project has rugged its token. Yes, we are relaunching the token for a very good reason, and those of you that do attend on a weekly basis understand exactly why. Those that don't and want to know why, let me give you or catch you up, because 2023 is going to be a massive year for us. The main reason we pulled the token, as everybody knows, the market was awful last year, and I mean awful. We had a dev that caused us problems. There was an error in the contract, and more importantly, we've taken the project from what we consider to be, let's say, a bedroom project, something that was run by Andy and I initially with, the aims of becoming a decent sized YouTube channel, to now we are in a position where we can genuinely become one of the number one projects in the whole of DeFi and Web3 in 2023. And that's not an idle boast, because we have hundreds of comedians lined up, clubs that have signed with us, world-class comedians and management groups all working with us, and a new ecosystem that will be launched in March, April this year, all being well. And I say all being well because nobody knows where the market's going to go. People have been questioning where that money is sat. That money is sat in the project and is sat there to be used for that launch, and obviously to grow the project over the next couple of 3 months. Now, we are obviously looking for venture capital. If the people listening who, we're in discussions with certain people, we are also wanting to entertain anyone else who wants to talk to us, because we genuinely believe we will be one of the very first projects in the whole world to bridge real world revenue into DeFi. And not just in a small way, because of the app we're building with Sizzle, and that will give access to millions of people. And we are working genuinely with the people who are running the VR experience for the Super Bowl in February, and hoping to line up some comedy content to go around that event, which should, touch wood, bring us 5 to 10 million eyes on our project. And that's not, again, a boast, it is a fact. So anybody who wants to come and listen to these AMAs week in, week out, and more importantly, ask questions, because the whole reason of these sessions are ask questions, come with questions. We are all working together. Those people that are here, I think probably all of you, there's a couple of names I don't necessarily recognise, but all of you are probably in the VIP group. Those people are people that have supported the project week in, week out through the last couple of 3 months. If you are not in the VIP group, there are very, very limited spaces to get into that now. The requirement is to be active in our Discord week in, week out. You don't have to go mad. You don't have to put hundreds of posts in. Get involved in a meaningful way, and people will notice that you're making a contribution. That's all we're asking. The people that are going to make it into that VIP group, we have promised something very special for. All of those people will be getting an extra Jungle Cat NFT dropped to them, and we will commit to dropping those before the end of January. So at the end of that point, well, I'm not dropping any more of those, and that'll be the end of those benefits for the VIPs. Everybody in the VIP group will get our inside information that we are gaining from a lot of people in the DeFi world as to what's happening with the market, which tokens that we are personally looking at for future investment, and none of that can be construed or should be construed as investment advice for you guys. But we will let you follow along and let you know what we're doing. Everybody makes their own decisions in terms of if you are going to invest in something. But the idea is we will all work together and help each other in a Web3 ethos that we will make sure we look after those people that have helped us and are continuing to support the project and work with us over the next month or two up to the relaunch of the token. Andy, do you want to just update people on where we are with events and stuff like that?
Yes. So there has been quite a few events run over sort of Christmas and New Year period in the Monkey Book clubs, in Next Chain Media clubs, and New Joke City clubs. I've just booked 2 more events on Oculus for the beginning of next week. 2 events on Monday night. I know Kevin did email us, Simon, over. I've not read the email yet. Overrunning a load more shows from his YouTube thing that he did, Netflix thing. So there's effectively on a couple of schedules, probably about another 10 to 15 shows over the next sort of 6 weeks period minimum. I think there's looking to be a few more as well. I've got to reach out and just chase up on a couple of the other comedy clubs like Frog and Bucket over the next shows. But yeah, there's loads of stuff coming in. I am going to be sharing it into the Discord channel a lot more, but a lot of it is also posted out on all our other social channels. So when you do see it, please share it, like it, comment on it, go and check them out. They're in the clubs for a good few days afterwards anyway, on loops. I know Dave's been great in New York. He's got loads of exciting stuff coming up. Going to collaborate with a couple of the other people that we've been doing things with. It has been obviously Christmas and the New Year, so people have been on holiday or away from work. So we just started having to pick up a couple of conversations again. We are down London the end of this month speaking to PBJ management, so hopefully there'll be some really big names coming in on that. We are looking to run a show for them as a test show. So yeah, lots of really good stuff. We did have a really good conversation with a lady on the south coast of England who's looking to do some research for us around comedy, accessibility, VR stuff, and she also is a comedian and is all. I don't know if you saw that email, Simon. She's been talking to some of her colleagues about running shows in one of the clubs for comedians with disabilities, because obviously they can't get out into clubs as much, particularly after COVID. So lots of great stuff happening. Loads of, it's just there is more shows running. So please go have a look at them when you get the chance. There will be some research done asking people around this stuff in the coming weeks. So yeah, it's all really positive. And I'm getting busier and busier booking more stuff into Oculus and Future Tech Labs. There will be some work done, as I did mention before Christmas, with the team on Alt Spaces, Spatial, a couple of other Metaverses as well. So there's going to be some, the shows are going to be streaming into more Metaverses soon, opening up the project to bigger audiences, wider audiences, different audiences. So that's all also really exciting. So it's all good stuff.
Yeah, and the one of the big bits of news for you guys is, I know we haven't done. We've actually had a break over Christmas. Andy and I have spent time with our families. Andy's daughter's come back from Canada, and obviously seen his brother, and I've seen my parents, and we've done what we should be doing at Christmas and spending some time with family and friends. And now we're back nose to the grindstone. But Andy and I have actually committed probably about a 20% more of our time now to Joke on a full-time basis. So you will see things ramping up significantly over the next few weeks and months, because we know that Q1 is absolutely crucial to the project as we go forward and as we go towards going out to the US again for the relaunch of the project, or the relaunch of the token, not relaunch of the project. Hopefully everybody's had a look at the ecosystem document. If you haven't, I suggest you do, because it is absolutely key that people understand where the revenue distribution within the project is going. So we will be rewarding the content creators, the comedians, the clubs. We will be allocating a percentage of the revenue to mental health charities, which our VIP community will vote on. We will be having distribution of sponsorship money to sponsorship and advertising money to Jungle Cat holders and to token holders, those being holders in the new token. Those of you that held the previous token will obviously from the snapshot be airdropped your token at launch. As I say, there isn't a set date for that as it stands. I have been speaking to P2B this week. I've literally seen a message just pop through on Telegram 5 minutes ago. I've not had a chance to read that one yet from them. So they are getting geared up for the launch and the marketing that's going to go around that. We are speaking to the team at Polygon to build the new smart contracts and the distribution of those funds. We are speaking to Sizzle, because those are the guys that are building the tech that integrates the advertising world into our project, i.e. as soon as we go live on the app, we are then able to drive revenue from day one, unlike projects that are purporting to be able to produce revenue possibly in the future. And I say that word possibly, we will be producing revenue, and very, very quickly. And once people start to see that that's happening, that obviously adds a great deal of value to not only your NFTs, but the new token when it's out, and it gives us a lot of leverage with that new launch. So we really do want to be able to drive revenue, ideally before that new token launch happens, or right at the same time. So that's the ambition. We've got a lot of work to do. We have, as I say, committed more of our, I won't say personal time, but our business time. Well, it takes up a lot of our personal time as it is anyway, but we have committed a larger chunk of our daily working time towards Joke, which that's not easy to do, because that puts our other businesses on the back burner. But the meeting Andy and I had before Christmas, we wrote down our priorities for 2023, and both of our lists at the very top was Joke. And we do surprisingly enough have to earn a living, believe it or not, right? So up to this point, we're not, we don't take salary from Joke. We haven't done. We have paid people out of Joke, because we've paid moderators and we've paid developers, we've paid marketing, we've paid shillers, and we've done all of that sort of stuff in the past. We want to make sure that the launch and the new launch, we see the new launch as literally the biggest thing that we can do in our lives this year. So, you guys will be sat there as part of that. Those people that are in the VIP group will get the heads up before everybody else. So hold on to the coattails, ride along with us. We will make sure that this is going to be the biggest project of 2023. We don't see any reason why it shouldn't be. And those people that are out there fudding, I did say to Sammy B in the mods and admins meeting that happened before this, anyone who can FUD about this project, they will look back and they will find themselves very, very wrong and embarrassed, and we will be able to say, I told you so. So let's look forward to that, because, personally, I know a lot of you that have listened to me before, I can't stand negativity. It's the one thing that winds the hell out of me, is like anyone, not necessarily fudding, but in real life, like anyone who's negative and, just these people that are like glass half empty, they're just never, they can't enjoy themselves because they're too busy worrying about what other people think about them, or there's a problem with something that they've invented a problem with and it was not true in the first place. Like, that's some next level bullshit that you get dragged down into that. So anybody fudding this project from now on, we won't have the time of day for them. I will be posting this AMA into the Infiniverse Multiverse community, because I know there's a couple of people in there that are particularly bad mouthing the project, and I openly invite any of those people to come and listen to an AMA, and more importantly, come on this AMA and ask me the questions directly, right? Don't skulk in the corner making stuff up and trying to badmouth our project when you know diddly squat about it. And if you've got any questions, we're here week in, week out. We're going to be here more and more, because obviously as we get closer to the big, really big things for this project in the next couple of 3 months, it will require more and more of our time, and it will require us to be here more often and keep you guys in the loop. But anyone who's got any questions, just say to them, turn up on an AMA, put your hand up, right? If anyone's got any questions now, put your hand up. I'll gladly answer them straight out and honestly, because we've never hidden anything. And it just, you can probably tell it winds me. And I have used the phrase, it boils my piss, before. I think that's the one that people in America didn't necessarily get, but I think they got the meaning. But yeah, look, anyone's got any problems with us, just ask us. We're here every week, and we will be infinitum as far as I can see. Anybody, if there's anybody in the, I might get, if Dave's listening, I might invite you on stage, Dave, if that's possible, because I want to hear that. I know there's a lot of developments going on in the Infiniverse, and if he's got the chance to come on stage, that'd be great. Might also invite Dranko, because I know he's got some deeper insight into the crypto universe and what's happening, and his project's going particularly well, I think, at the moment as well. Are you there?
What it do, baby? How you guys doing?
Yeah, good. Are you?
Oh yeah. Hopefully you had a good Christmas and New Year. Yeah.
Yeah, man. Just hanging out with family, and same thing. New Year. It was good. Everybody's healthy, and about to welcome our third kiddo here in a couple weeks.
Oh.
Hey.
that's the bad number. You know that, don't you? Because that's the bad news. 3. Everything else went well. I've got 3, and that causes me all sorts of problems.
That's our third and very likely final.
Do you know what you're having?
Yep, we got a little boy on the way, Luca.
Oh, he's gonna. Yeah, I've got a little boy as my third, and he's definitely trouble. But you enjoy it, man. You enjoy it.
Thank you.
How's your project going?
Man, everything is good. We're sitting just a hair below an all-time high. I think we're up like 500 or 600%. Wow. And right now, like literally as I'm in this space, we're having a conversation with probably one of the biggest connections I would almost say of my life, and that's really big. So I'm hoping, I'm praying that we can make it work. But if we do, I mean, the Smoke and Steezy project, as we initially thought, it's just like, we had a fun vision, like a degenerate vision, just to have fun in a bear market with some high hopes that everybody would make money. But now it's kind of formalizing a little bit. And if this does take over, it's just a whole new, it's exciting. I'll leave it at that. I can't share a whole lot because it's not locked in, but conversation is happening right now at this moment.
Good stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah,
we like hearing that, especially like you say, in the way the market is at the moment. What are you thinking? Like, I keep seeing rumblings now of, obviously through Christmas there was a ton of people all over social like, oh, bull market's here, it's going, let's go, like Litecoin's gone up 10%, like that must be the signal. do you see do you see a bit more of a pump and then it pull back again?
You know what, honestly, I don't even look at the prices. I sometimes I could be off 20-25% on a price because I literally do not look. My motto this year is that it is our final year to accumulate. So 2023 for me is the year of accumulation. And I just want to stack as much, Bitcoin, ETH, the altcoin projects I believe in, because I think after this year, I think it's game over. I think 24, 25, the Bitcoin halving in April, 6 months after, I just think it's going to be such a big explosion. Every dollar you invest now is like 10, $15.
Do you think is 24, 25 is because regulation comes in and, CDPCs, etc. Is it because of that, or just this?
I think
the next bull run
multiple
is going to be the
purposes.
biggest?
I think one, because the recession is I think we're in a recession by every definition other than maybe one or two. Like, we're in a recession. There's a couple of things that we're not checking. Unemployment, we still haven't met that criteria to be in a recession. But nonetheless, we're in a crappy situation right now. The Bitcoin halving, okay, so that won't last forever. Let's just say a year. The Bitcoin halving in April 2024, everybody's going to anticipate it. The real effect will come probably 6 months after. So I think, the end of 2024, it's just an explosion. Like, everything will line up to really be a true bull market.
Yeah, but that's,
and plus,
it's hard
you give all these. Go ahead.
Hard for people to wait that long, though, isn't it? It's like the patience.
Oh my God, it's gonna feel forever. But I mean, if you can just sacrifice and stack, when the prices are going sideways, and stop looking at prices on a daily or weekly, and put money in that you won't really need to pull to live, then after this year and a half, 2 years, you're set. Like, you're truly chilling. You're sipping a mojito on the beach, doing whatever in the world you want to do.
Yeah, you talked about some of the altcoin projects that you might be interested in. I'm not going to ask you to name any here, but perhaps we could get you to commit to come back in the future in the VIP group and give a few tips in there. Would that be all right?
You know what? I'll drop a couple for you guys. Because here's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for real world assets that are going to be tokenized. I'm not looking for like utility tokens. How am I trying to say this? I'm not looking for a project that just throws in a token for the ecosystem. Why is there a reason to buy that token? What is the reward of joke in that interface? Like, everything ties in. That's a real world asset. A real world marketplace for cannabis and hemp and CBD, to where a user has an incentive to use that token rather than checking out at weed.com and just having a normal checkout process. Real estate. There's so many things that are going to have a true purpose. I think real world assets is going to be the hot topic of 2023. You're going to see a lot of stuff come out, I would say, in the upcoming months, probably the end of Q1. You'll see a lot more exciting. I say exciting because it's like true money will be made, but it'll probably be the boring shit built by professionals.
or built by two old gits from the north of England, yeah?
There you go. Semi-professionals.
Oh, thanks. We've become part degen now, have we? We're almost allowed into the club. Yeah, but like, talking about the way the market's going and the recession, we are going to be helping people make money on the way down. So we're going to be teaching people. Andy and I have been doing a lot of work on trading digital assets and forex and things like that. So we are going to share that knowledge that we've gained over the last year. We're at the point where we are genuinely making money ourselves from that, and now are prepared to teach people and show you, fast track you into being able to understand it first. The reason I got into it or became interested in it, and Dranko, this one will excite you hopefully, is I've seen the link between the news in the US dollar forex market and the way the price of Bitcoin moves. And it moves so quickly when that news comes out. there is opportunity to make thousands of pips in minutes, right? And you can almost guarantee the way these things move. I've compared that with the pound and the way the pound news, and pound and euro does not affect Bitcoin, doesn't even blink, right? So all of these sort of things we will show people, but there's opportunities to make a lot of money as the price of, for example, Bitcoin goes down, as it goes up, as ETH does it, all assets, all crypto, rather than having to hold the token. It's effectively you're betting on the direction. But
You should set up a joke fund, because when it comes to Forex, that is an absolute foreign language to me. But I'll ship you some money, let you play with it.
well, I'll send you a private message then, because that fund already exists.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, we are.
But it has to be called the joke fund, just so people don't know if it's serious or not.
Yeah. Well, when the SEC comes knocking on your door and says, how did you make this money? It was a joke. Yeah.
There you go. There you go. They won't know what direction to take.
Yeah. Well, the other beauty of what goes on in Forex trading is pretty much it is, or in the UK, I don't know about in the US, but in the UK it's not taxable unless it's your full-time job. So there is a lot of opportunity there to make a side income, let's put it that way, to start with, until people learn how to be sensible and not gamble, because equally there's a lot of money that you can lose if you're not careful. But it's all about managing your risk and knowing where things, 8 out of the 10 times are going to go. So if you can do that, you can make money, and you can make it consistently. But we will be teaching that. Those lessons are going to start next week. Andy and I will be recording some intro sessions, so that I know I think Walter's on here. I think he's in the US, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he already trades digital assets. There may well be some other of you that do that. So you might find the first couple of weeks of it are not necessarily relevant to you. Might be worth watching just in case you spot something that we do differently to you guys. And if you find anything that you can help us out with and you know already, please do. We'll all work together. But we'll put those first couple of lessons up. Then we're going to do some live sessions. Those won't necessarily be great for the US audience, because the London and New York sessions are the best. Those the UK London session is the best one, which is 8 a.m. UK time, which I think is about 3 in the morning for the US. New York is our 2 p.m, so it's about your 8 a.m. But after that, a couple of hours after that, it's not really worth getting involved or trading. There's foreign markets all over the world, but it's the UK and the US are the two markets that lead the way. But we will then be teaching how you trade those assets, and also how you can trade things like the news. And I can show you how to trap prices, how to be ready to make sure that your risk is as low as possible, but the upside is enormous if you get it right. So come with us on that journey if you want to learn. Like I say, the reason I got into it was to see the relationship and the opportunity for trading ETH and Bitcoin without actually holding it. And it helps me to understand the way the market's going on a daily and weekly basis and see the trends. And I still believe we've got quite a lot of downside on Bitcoin. You've got all the people shouting about the fact that it's, you'll never see 15, 16k again. Well, I think we'll remember 3 months ago when people were saying you'll never see 17k again. Who knows where it's going to go? It'll only take one black swan event in the real world for prices to deteriorate further. But let's hope Putin pulls out of Ukraine. I can't see it anytime soon, but if Mr. Putin was to pull out of the Ukraine, then we might see a bit of a bit of positive sentiment and the market moving in the right direction. But we've still got a massive washout for COVID to go. Like Dranko says, we are going to be in recession for 2023, and Andy and I went to an in-person training in Manchester to do with Forex, and the guys there were rubbing their hands together because they said the best time to make money is in a recession in what we're going to teach you. So we'll show you, come along for the ride, understand, and those lessons are going to start next week for the VIPs. If you're not a VIP, as I say, get active in Discord. We will be drawing a line at the end of January for that VIP membership, because we did obviously promise the first 50 people that made into it an extra jungle cat and access to the training that we're now going to provide, and I forgot, and an extra apartment in the Infiniverse. We've still got some of those codes to give away. I don't know if you're still listening, Dave. If you've got I have invited you onto stage. Maybe he's not able to speak. If you are, please do come up. If not, I'll catch up with you offline, because I do want to speak to you about other things that are going on in the Infiniverse. Here he is. Are you able to speak, Dave? He's still got his microphone on. Oh, it's Dave Arena's here.
Hold on.
Both are silent.
They've both disappeared now.
We could do with a chat with Dave Arena offline as well.
Yeah.
Right, I've made
Hear me?
Let's let Dave Lee Salt go first, because I wanna update on the Infiniverse, Dave, if you can, because I know there's tons going on.
Yeah, for us, I mean, we've just bought an InfiniHub. I've not been on that much, to be fair. I've been off for 2 weeks pretty much. I'm the same as yourself. I had Christmas, so I've had a lot of family get-togethers and parties, and it's just been non-stop. So I've managed to get on and buy some stuff and then do some investing, and bought an InfiniHub, and we're trying to kind of set all that up. Other than that, I've not really seen that much. There's lots of changes going on in there, and there's a lot of people coming into the Infiniverse right now. So they're all setting up for that. The FTL have just come back to work today, and they're having a big push from today. They're fixing all the bugs and stuff. So looks like we're back on track. We're back on again.
Yeah, the only little disappointing thing was that I don't think Oculus sales were quite as good as they might have been. But my personal opinion on that is that the device is too expensive. It'd be nice to see, the access made easier through, they're going to have to allow an app and web, normal web access, I think, at some point. Have you had any feedback on whether they're building that in yet?
No. We have been told all along that we are going to different VR headsets, and we are going to mobile phones and different systems. So, I mean, for me and my team, we're happy to wait. There's no rush for this. The longer they take to kind of launch all that, then the longer we get to kind of set up what we need to do. I mean, we're starting our drive. We've got a meeting tonight with our team, and we're going to start our drive for what we're going to do. As of today, I'm going to start pushing that out. So the longer we get to be able to do that before the masses arrive, the better for us, because we're all new to this. So it's a learning curve for all of us, isn't it? So we can be ready and ready to roll as soon as the people arrive. So I mean, we've all got jetpacks now. They're all in place as to what we want to use. And that's going to be a good revenue model for us. I think everything's going according to plan for us, especially in the UK area. We're all doing really well. The team are stoked and really working hard.
But you guys have bought the majority of the land around the UK, haven't you? So it's stopping it, because some of the areas are having a bit of a problem with people like putting things up that they shouldn't necessarily, aren't they?
Yeah, there's quite a lot of that going on, I believe. We worked hard to kind of secure exactly what we wanted to build, and we've started dropping some villages around the outside now, just to have a bit of a play with that. But we've got quite a lot more to do, and we've got everything secured as to what we want. So there's no drama for us. Everything's going according to plan. A couple of people have bought some more plots towards the end, like water plots, and hopefully we can do jet skis and all that kind of boating and stuff like that for revenue as well. So the hub we've just dropped, it works really well for the Manchester building. We've just dropped the hub scraper, which will bring every person who comes in from the Grand Central now will get a doorway with a Union Jack on it. Head this way, come this way to England. For all the gamers, come this way towards. But for the gaming, and it drops you right facing the Frog and Bucket. We're going to put a statue outside there at some point. So it's going to drive everyone from England to see the Frog and Bucket. So that's perfect location for us and for yourselves to drive everyone into there. So and we will guide people in. So that's what we've always wanted to do. So it's perfect location.
Yeah, and Andy and I want to talk to you about the bit of land that we own in the UK district as well, because we're thinking that we can put some certain things on there. One of them being the financial district in terms, trading area. So we want to work on that as well. So when you've got a bit of time, if you've got time, we'll meet up. That'd be great.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. I mean, I'll get some of my team to come along as well, and some of the clever guys as well, so they can help with all the building of it and advice on how the best way to kind of promote that area. I mean, we're going to start the promotion side of it now. We're just starting cracking on with that, and we're reaching out to UK businesses and stuff for all that kind of thing to start our drive now. So yeah, well, I'll meet up with you. I'll meet up with you this week.
Cool.
Sometime later on if you can.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We'll have a chat about it.
Yeah, cool. Definitely need to do that, because we want to develop that area as much as obviously Megastar City.
Right. Okay.
Well, there is one individual, I'm not going to name him, who's running around fudding a lot in the Infiniverse. I wouldn't mind if you could either direct him to come and listen to one of our AMAs, or set up a meeting with me and him, if you know who I'm talking about. And I would really appreciate a chat, because there is a lot of information that is incorrect in that person's hands, and I don't know where he's got it from, but and I don't think necessarily he's doing it on purpose, but he's just spreading information that's third hand. I have bumped into him in the past in the Infiniverse, and he was a great guy to talk to, but some reason he absolutely hates our project, and I don't know why. But do you know who I'm talking about?
No.
Well, I'll message you. I will message you privately the username. You do know who it is, because you will do when I tell you. But it would be appreciated if I can have if you can, next time you see him, or any of your team do, put him straight and say, look, because what's getting said is borderline libelous. So there's no, there was Bobby Walters, who was the arch enemy of the Infiniverse, where he's pretty much becoming the Bobby Walters of joke. So, and there's no reason. He's not somebody who has even held the token or an NFT, as far as I'm aware. So it's just somebody who's just being an arse. So, I would appreciate an opportunity to talk to him. I will make the effort myself, obviously, to get in there, and there are a couple of people in here that are obviously in the Infiniverse regularly as well, and they're aware of who it is. But if it doesn't get stopped, I will be putting a stop to it. And I don't. It's
probably a bad sign, but I do know pretty much every person in the Infiniverse, so it'll be unlikely that I don't know who it is. I do know most of the people who've been in there for more than a couple of months.
Oh, you
will absolutely know who it is
when I send the name to you. But yeah, let's we'll cover that off, and also let's have a chat about what we can do in the UK, because obviously you guys are doing a fantastic job and probably the most active community in there. So we would be,
no doubt,
we'd be remiss if we weren't making a big effort to work with you guys. And I know there's a lot of talented people in there, so let's do it. Thanks Dave for your time. We've got Dave Arena on here. Are you able to speak, Dave?
I think I am now. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you now. We've got a lot of things to catch up with you, but we should have a meeting as well, because we've got lots and lots of opportunity where you are, and leading up to us coming over to the States again. So hopefully you'll have an opportunity to meet up with us. We're going to be in Miami in, I think, Florida and Miami in March and April. So I don't know. Is that easy? Is that just an internal flight for you, or are you a million miles away?
No, distance-wise, it's not too bad. But yeah, that's an easy flight from New York. So
cool. I saw there was one of your players was collapsed on the pitch last night. Is he okay?
Yeah, he's in critical condition and sedated, so we haven't had any other updates. But yeah, it was cardiac arrest, so they actually had to revive him on the field. So, yeah, from what the updates are, I guess his vitals are back to normal, but he's sedated and intubated, so they're just waiting to see what happens from there. So yeah, hopefully. We've never seen anything like that at least for football, because they didn't really know what to do, and they ended up canceling the game, which has never happened. You know what I mean? So
that's happened to a few football. Well, you would call them soccer players, but over here there's a guy called Christian Eriksen who was effectively dead for nearly 10 minutes, I think, on the pitch. And
yeah, I remember that, and it's happened. I guess it's happened a couple times. Like, it's happened in hockey once. It's happened in baseball. Like, usually it's baseball or hockey, where it's like, because it usually is caused by like that kind of blunt trauma, where it's like a compact thing hitting you. You know what I mean? So it's unusual for American football, because it must have been, who knows? I don't know if it was the helmet or just the right timing or whatever, but yeah, it was pretty scary to watch.
Yeah, well, let's touch wood, hope he's fine, and well, now we've lowered the mood, but I think these we can't joke about things like this when there's, well, I've actually seen a football player collapse on a pitch over here under 12 years old, and he was luckily saved as well. So I think if you can get defibs into, there's I don't know whether it's like it in the States, but in the UK they're trying to get all defibrillators into as many schools as possible now. But yeah, look, hopefully we catch up with you soon, Dave. I know we need to chat and we need to talk about Gotham and the opportunities there, and hopefully you can come and learn about the Forex trading as well, and see how you can get all your strong money back.
Yeah, that would be great, because that's Forex is also my background in terms of marketing and trading as well. So yeah, I'd love to catch up on that too. So let's catch up. I mean, there's probably a ton we need to go over offline, but yeah, lots of good things happening here too, with Vic and I writing some scripts that are getting some pretty good traction and interest. So
Cool.
Yeah, lots going on here. So
good stuff. Well, I've just sent you an email, Dave. So when you get a chance, just let me know. Okay.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah,
cool. Happy New.
Yeah, we are producing hopefully some content to go around the Super Bowl. So maybe we can try and get you on that roster.
Yeah, and hopefully it'll be the Bills this year. So
we'll see. Is there anybody in the audience that's got any questions? Because should we just I'm just going to check the AMA live chat as well. If you don't fancy putting your hand up, you can type a question in. I'm just going to have a quick read down, see if there's any questions. Looking forward to learning, putting things into practice, says Tom. Training would be appreciated. Yeah, the joy of trading up and down in markets. Then we don't care where the bottom is. That's true. But the interesting thing is, when we do this trading and give you guys this experience, you will see where the bottom is, and that's part of the reason that I, Andy and myself, started to learn this and understand how markets move and how, some of the fundamentals around just how candlesticks work. You wouldn't believe if you've not delved into it. Let me scroll down and just what dates are the dates in March for FL set yet? What does he mean by FL, Andy? Do you know?
Florida.
Oh, Florida.
We need to confirm everything, Simon. We'll do that with the guys probably towards the end of it'll be next week actually, but we do need to get that confirmed and booked and sorted. So we'll have a catch up with the who.
Yeah, before we dox everybody. But I'm sure people in the project know who we're talking about anyway. Right, let me just get back into the AMA, and then we'll be able to see if there's anyone got their hand up. There isn't currently.
Simon, there was a question from Walter in the AMA live chat. I tagged you. The very last line is me tagging you on his question.
Save me going back in, and do you know what the question was?
Just a quick question about the development of the app, if you're allowed to disclose this. In what stage of development is it currently? And will we see any previews of it before the full launch?
Yes, absolutely. We will see a minimum viable product quite quickly. The app as a whole is very complex. So when you're talking about an ecosystem that allows, for example, a club to register and then to register a comedian, that comedian to add content, that to go into a schedule to be broadcast into the metaverse as well as obviously on the app, then advertisers being brought onto the platform sponsoring that content, and then the revenue from that advertising being distributed back out to token holders, to comedians, to clubs, to charities, to NFT holders, and to the project. All of that is very complex. The mechanics of it are all there. In the smart contract that manages that is not there. But we will have a product that runs and proves the concept and, more importantly, collects revenue, albeit that the revenue may have to initially be distributed not manually but through a separate contract that's not necessarily integrated straight into the app. That's all very, very close to being done. Andy, did you want to elaborate on that?
Well, I was going to say he's already built out a lot of the back end stuff in various, let's call it Lego bricks. The thing is, he's bringing it together now to do what we need it to do. He has been thinking about it. I've actually just messaged him today for a catch up on how things are going, because we do need to see where things are at. But a lot of it is built in separate parts because he's used it in other ways for other things. It's just a question of it being brought together. So I've just repeated myself there. But yeah, hopefully we'll know more this week on where things are at. Like I said, I have just emailed him today. I know he's been away for the new year, so we should have some updates pretty shortly on that.
Yeah, and it's obviously it's really exciting to get to the point of getting a product that's launched, rather than, because I've followed a lot of other projects in DeFi where they start talking about apps. Naming one name would be AfroStar, because I think they talked about their app for over a year, I don't even know if it's been launched yet, but we're talking about something that actually drives revenue. So we have the advertising network that we can plug into it. It's not like we've got to go and look for advertisers. And we're effectively cutting out someone like YouTube. We're remodeling a revenue stream that isn't available at the moment, because the paid to watch part of it, that's what gets people excited. So people will get paid to watch the content, and you will then be shown adverts, and you will choose which adverts you see or you don't see, and which you interact with, and that's how you get rewarded. So look, that's why Andy and I are throwing more time at the project, to get all of these things done and as quickly as possible. And in some ways, we've been very lucky that the market has afforded the ability to put all these things in place, and to make sure it didn't go too quickly, and we get everything right before we relaunch that token. And we do obviously say thank you to everybody who's been patient, because I haven't really genuinely heard anybody fudding, and anybody who has come to these AMAs and understood what we're trying to achieve. So
I think it's also fair to say, Simon, we want things to happen as well. As you've alluded, this project's been going 18 months now, and we don't make anything from it, and we're putting our heart and souls into it. So we want it to happen for everybody's benefit, including our own, and there's a lot of people who are putting a lot of time and a lot of effort in all quarters, from the app developers to people advisors on contracts, the community that are here. So many people put a lot of work into it. So, we are committed to it. And as Simon said, when we wrote down our priorities for this year, and we did it separately and we got together, it was the priority, and we will make it happen. There's conversations already happening. The first day back today, a lot of conversations around it, emails flying backwards and forwards, a couple of calls going on. So, we are on it, and so is everybody else, all our partners and everybody involved in the projects, driving to make it happen. And excuse me, I've had a bit of a frog in my throat, so I'm a bit croaky at the moment.
Hopefully not a frog and bucket.
But no. I did email her earlier, by the way.
Yeah, so as it's the first one back, we'll keep it to an hour. Look out for that training that's going to be coming next week. We'll be recording the videos and starting to feed them in. If you're not in the VIP, just get involved in the conversations on Discord this week. Invite other people in to come and understand what we're doing about the project. And we will be back next week with more updates, and obviously anything in the meantime, you'll see more activity on all of our socials, and more activity in Discord. So look, we look forward to making sure this is the biggest project in the space in 2023. We expect people to now try and copy what we're doing. We are miles ahead of the game. We've got such a massive advantage, and we don't intend to give any of that up. So stick with us, and we will see you all again next week. Thanks for coming along.
Cheers, folks. Bye.